I'm very new to liking musicals, but you liking musicals, that may be a sign. That may be something that you resonate with. But it's that song that's, the sun will come out tomorrow, bet your bottom dollar tomorrow. That song? That has been stuck in my head and popping in my head all week, last week, into the weekend. And to start with, I felt like a very positive feeling from that song, from that message. I was also getting a lot of messages and just like downloads around like self-love and like how powerful truly self-love is, and how people don't put enough faith, for lack of a better way to put it, enough faith in self-love, enough faith in loving themselves. And that just really has been like a big topic on my mind, where it's like, if you love yourself authentically, it's really a game changer. This year has been a big journey of like self-love for me, and not looking for love or gratification or validation from others, but just loving myself. And I'm still perfecting it, but I've come a long way this year. And I feel like that had something to do with the message, but I felt like what I was hearing was almost incomplete. It was almost like there was something that I was missing, and I just kept waiting, and I kept waiting. And I kept hearing that, tomorrow. There's a full moon right now, and it started last night. And even whenever I walked outside, I heard the part again, like, I just lift my chin and grin and say. And then today I was sitting here and I'm like, I've been feeling like called to pull tarot on it, but I just haven't. Like, I've been like waiting on something and waiting for tomorrow. Like, what is that, And tonight I was like, Spirit, like, what am I missing? What is it that I'm supposed to be pulling this tarot on? And like, I feel so dumb for even having to ask that, because the response was immediately like, that's why I'm asking you to pull tarot. That's why I'm telling you and making you feel called to pull tarot right now. You're getting these downloads and I want to talk to you about it. I want you to pull tarot. Like, if you're feeling like you need to do it, just do it. And I feel like that is the collective energy that we're on right now. Is like, whoever is going to resonate with this reading, whoever is already resonating with it, there's someone who has been feeling like they're wanting to do something, that they're on the precipice of doing something, they're on the jump of doing something, they're ready to do something, they're ready to launch, but they're just waiting until tomorrow. They're waiting until tomorrow because they feel like they're missing something. But the Spirit is like, if you want to do it, just do it. If you're feeling called to do it, just do it. You're not going to get what it is that you want or that you're waiting on until you just do it. Like, that's the whole point. You're wanting to do it because you want to do it, and it needs to be done, so therefore you need to do it. And it's not going to magically happen unless you do it. And before we dive in, just remember, if this message aligns with you, it will find you. And if it doesn't align, keep scrolling. It costs $0 to mind your own business. Yeah, it's like you're saying, like, I need motivation, I need energy, I need healing, I need confirmation, I need determination, I need discipline. But you're surrounding all of that potential, all of the potential motivation, discipline, discernment, determination. You're constantly surrounding it and blocking it and cutting it off with your caution, with your doubt, with your self-doubt. And you're not truly listening to the discipline, the motivation, the discernment, the dedication. You're not listening to that from within. You have so much within that you're not tapping into, that you're not stepping into, that you're not allowing out. It's like you're saying, I trust the process, I trust the universe, I trust the process, I trust the universe, but you're not letting go. You're still trying to hold on to some type of control. You want physical reality to bend to your will, but you're not taking any steps that it can bend around. You're saying, I trust in God, I trust in the process, I trust in things outside of myself, but what you need to be trusting in is yourself. Trusting in when you take that step forward, no matter what comes from around you, no matter what happens around you, something will be there for you to step on. That's how life works. That's how it has been up to this point. And you may have crumbled, you may have struggled, you may have fallen short, but that doesn't mean that it ended then. It didn't. You're still here. Some of you are like, yeah, Sam, but whenever I did fall, it hurt, and I'm afraid of that pain. I'm doubting because I'm afraid of that pain happening again. I'm afraid of that heartbreak happening again. But what you're not realizing is how divinely protected you are. You are so protected. You have so much going for you right now, pushing for you because of what you went through. You lost everything so that you would have nothing to lose. I'm going to say that again. You lost everything so you'd have nothing to lose. Okay? Are you following me? You can't truly move up or climb the ladder and climb far and climb the length that you've wanted to without hitting the bottom first. Okay? Are you following? Are you understanding? In some instances, too, that pain was the protection. That pain, the plummet that you had, the fall, the tower, the complete fall off of the ladder when it was standing up against your house and you hitting your bottom on the ground, that was a wake-up call. That was a movement. You were so stuck and just complacent in a routine and stagnant in a routine, and the universe had to go, bam, and wake you up. That's what the tower is about. Maybe you've been getting a lot of readings here recently talking about tower moments or past tower moments, and the towers do not have to be bad. And a lot of times in the long scheme, like grand scheme of things, in the long run, they are actually very, very good. And it sucks in the moment, but you have a lot of beauty that comes after the tower. It's only up from there, and that's what is next for you. You've already hit the ground. You already fell. It's only up from here. I'm going to get personal for a moment and share something vulnerable about myself because I see where it can fit into the tarot reading at this point. I do want to give a trigger warning for eating disorders. So I just want to give you a heads up if you want to take a moment or if you need to leave. I totally understand. But I have struggled with a binge eating disorder for a very long time. And pretty much my entire life, but it's gotten worse in adulthood. And I've tried everything from medications to different types of therapy. And of course, my ADHD meds do help to a certain extent, but it doesn't quite get the job done, especially now because of just so much that happened over the last 2 years. So this year has been a big self-love journey for me and a big discovery and understanding moment for me where I've stopped pushing myself to change and just allowed myself to understand and allowed myself to exist. And through that, I have come so far in my eating disorder and my mental health and my self-reflection and my self-love and my self-acceptance. And one of the major breakthroughs for me here recently that has started really shaping the way that I'm understanding my entire life, trauma, blessings, and everything, is that one thing that would happen whenever I would get the urge to binge was that I would hear, or I would tell myself, I'm not hungry. I would try to argue with myself and say, I'm not hungry. You're not hungry. This is not you. This is not hunger. Don't eat. But I finally had this realization probably about a month ago where I got the urge and I said, you're not hungry. I'm not hungry. But then immediately I heard, but what if I am? What if I am? Because up to this point, I had been making my eating disorder some type of big, scary monster that I couldn't do anything with. This hunger was something that I could not quench. I could not feed. It was uncontrollable. It was out of control. But if it's hunger and it's simply hunger, I know what to do with hunger. I know how to handle hunger. I know how to say, well, give yourself 15 minutes and maybe you won't be hungry anymore. I know how to go, well, maybe you're just thirsty. I know how to say those things to hunger. I don't know how to say them to a big, scary monster. And of course, everyone's journey is different. Everyone's eating disorder, if you have an eating disorder, is different. Everyone's addiction is different. But I urge you to start saying, well, maybe it is simpler. Maybe it just needs to be invited to be simpler. Maybe it needs to be a simpler label for you. And that's part of introducing this movement, this healing motion into your life right now, is allowing whatever this big monster that you have allowed to become a big monster in your life, just allowing it to be something simple, especially if it's within you and part of you. Maybe the anxiety, maybe the mental health, maybe the self-doubt, maybe the doubt, maybe the worry. Maybe it's not something foreign. Maybe it's something from within you that needs to be heard, that needs to be relabeled in a way that is easier for you to understand. Maybe it deserves unison with you. Maybe it deserves softness from you. Maybe it needs and deserves to work with you toward a goal. You may not be able to work with a monster, but you can work with hunger. You may not be able to work with a monster, but you can work with doubt. You may not be able to work with a monster, but you can work with worry that's actually trying to protect you. You can work with something that has a name, that is part of you, that's a normal part of you, that is a normal piece of you. Find out what its name is. Talk to it. Listen to it. Work with it to benefit you, not to work against yourself and to fight with yourself. Maybe you just need a little faith. And you probably feel like your faith is shaken and that your faith is non-existent because the ground you were on was shaken. Because everything that you thought would work out, all the judgments you had placed on your life, all of the things that you had said, I will meet this criteria. I will be this person one day. I will do this one day. I will succeed in this way one day. All of those things didn't happen the way that you imagined them. And so now your faith is shaken. But your faith should not be relied on what has happened. That's not faith. That is data. That is evidence. That is you being strategic, and that is good in some areas, and there's a time for that. There's a time for everything. Right now is a time for faith. Right now is a time for trust and surrender. Right now is a time for you to go, you know what? I choose to have faith, because that's what faith is. It's a choice. It's a choice even whenever things may not seem like they're going in a certain direction or going the way you want them to. You choose to have faith. You choose to believe. You choose to know that something is coming, something better is coming, that you are going to succeed. I have faith, therefore I take that first step. I have faith, therefore I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I have faith, therefore I will apply for that job. I have faith. Faith is the fuel to the first step, is the fuel to the motivation, it's the fuel to the discipline. It is the fuel to all the things that you've been craving here recently, the discernment, the dedication, the movement, the motion, the energy, the motivation. That's the big thing. All comes from faith. You thought it was hope, and hope is great. But hope is just like, I can hope for anything in the world. That doesn't mean that I believe it could happen. I may hope, but that doesn't mean I'm believing it right now. If I have faith, that is very different. And the things that you're wanting right now, the decisions that you're struggling with making, they're actually a lot easier choices, a lot easier than what, like, options to choose between than what you're thinking they are, than what you're pretending they are. They don't deserve this much contemplation. If you know what you want to do, do it. And make the decision that's going to lead you there. It really is that simple. You are so much stronger than what you realize. You are so much more capable than what you realize. That has been a big message here recently. You are so much stronger and so much more capable than what you realize. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop waiting for the sun to come out. Stop waiting. Because maybe you are the sun. Maybe you breaking out of this darkness, out of this isolation, out of this secludedness, maybe that is the sun coming out. Maybe you are the one who is meant to bring the sun out and bring in tomorrow. It's time to stop waiting and wondering on the past to fix itself, or wondering if it's going to come back around, or wondering if things are going to ever fix or be the same. They're not meant to be the same. They're not. If someone's left your life, they're not meant to be there. I'm sorry. If you have trauma from someone who has hurt you in the past, it's time to leave it behind. You have so much more ahead of you. You have so much better ahead of you. It's time to just move toward that. Take that step, that first step. I'll take it with you. We can do it together as a collective. That's all I got for you.